Culture, a way of life that brought us become who we are as Filipinos.
It's a celebration of life where the past is cherished.
Present creates legacy.
And the future is whom we always look forward to.
Ever since we started practicing architecture, we've always wondered, how do we evoke Philippine culture through architecture?
There are a lot of symbols and ideas that may represent us as Filipinos.
And we, Filipinos, are known for a lot of things. The festivals, the beaches, and even the smiles we put in our faces through the most challenging times.
Historically, the Philippines was first dubbed as Perla del Mar de Oriente, or Pearl of the Orient Seas, by a Spanish Jesuit missionary, Father Juan J. Delgado. And 145 years later, our national hero, Dr. Jose P. Rizal, used the same phrase to refer to the Philippines in his last poem, Mi Ultimo Adios. And in 1934, one of the biggest pearl in the world was found in Palawan.
We took not only inspiration from the pearl, but also from the shell. We were intrigued by its bivalves and decided to incorporate that to our structure, as well as mimicking the idea of the shell housing the pearl.
By exploring the idea of the pearl and expanding that idea into architecture, we were able to create the structure that would encompass what we believe best represents the Philippines and its people. And that's where project Kinaiya was born.
Kinaiya is actually a Cebuano term, one of our dialects in the Visayas region, and when translated, means the characteristics that makes you who you are. Being coined as a pearl of the Orient Seas, I think as Filipinos, we truly are the pearl of the Orient, shining with our traditions and culture even up to this day, which evidently embodies the nation's character in our building design.
This building is the Philippines' central and largest museum, which provides visual links to the National Museum and the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Therefore, the design and the quality will be of a standard in which the nation can be proud of as the National Museum of Culture and Arts. Lastly, the facade and the form especially will reflect the nation's character.
The main feature of the building design is its urban location. Our site is a 62,100 square meter lot situated in the old Star City in the city of Pasay, which is also a developer-claimed land known as the New Coastal Reclamation Area. This area is surrounded and overlooked by commercial buildings and residential buildings, extended toward the CCP complex in the north, east, and south side. As a landmark facility in the complex, or as an urban monument, the museum will integrate well into the surrounding area with its well-designed facade, forms, and landscaping, which harmonizes with the CCP complex.
The people who will visit and enjoy this museum are diverse, and catering to them is a must. Thus, the layout of the museum is carefully designed for visitors to easily orient themselves and to clearly identify parts of the building without any confusion. We were able to create a smooth flow wherein visitors will be able to go from exhibit to exhibit in an unrestrained but well-controlled manner and placed exhibits where visitors can easily access them.
The exhibition spaces that we have are also subdivided into two categories. The first is the main exhibition galleries, wherein the contents of the galleries would remain unchanged. The second is the temporary galleries and would change from time to time. By doing this, it would entice local visitors to come more often, and local artists can host various exhibitions in these spaces.
Also, as a means to stand out from the rest, we decided to place other kinds of exhibition, like an audio room wherein we can play chants from one of our native tribes here in the Philippines, and an audio-visual room where we can host events, presentations, or any culture gatherings.
Providing an area outside was also a big priority for us, creating a space where one could leisurely walk around, other than the space inside the museum, where people can enjoy each other's company, the view of the sea, as well as clean and fresh air. Thus, providing benches and sufficient green spaces was something we made sure we had.
Another aspect we had to consider were the roads and accessibility. As the site is surrounded by two roads, Magdalena Street and Vicente Street, we had to assess traffic flow in order to decide where it is best to place our parking and our drop-off. For our drop-off, we decided that the entry would be at Vicente Street as it is the main road. From there, the road diverges into two. One would go straight to parking as some would drop off people and then go to park, and one would go to Magdalena Street as not all would decide to park and only drop off passengers. We also decided to place a parking access at Magdalena Street as some would not consider dropping off passengers. Additionally, we decided to separate our public parking to our private parking. Private parking will be used by employees and spaces for trucks are provided for logistics.
A challenge we also foresaw was that most structures surrounding the area had a more brutal style to them. Of course, as architects, we had to take that into account. So we decided to create a more organic structure in order to stand out without compromising the design that we have in mind.
We also had to consider the noise pollution and the heat. As the Philippines is known for its hot climate for most parts of the year, we had to make sure our structure would have a more suitable temperature and humidity for our guests, precious artworks, and artifacts. In addition, having an angled curtain wall system would greatly reduce the heat that would enter our building.
As for the noise pollution, given that the site is located near the road, soundproofing is a must in order for us to not ruin the ambience and the experience when people are coming into our museum.
This project isn't just about its people, nor the promotion of our culture as Filipinos, but it's also about our environment.
More than its aesthetic is its functionality to maintain the structure as a natural machine of clean, renewable energy.
Since we encounter problems with UV light damaging artworks and posing threats to our health, this structure will be the first ever in the Philippines to use UV-powered solar panels. These panels, utilizing waste crops, were invented by our very own Filipino inventors.
These panels, when hit by UV light, the particles absorb and re-emit visible light along the edges due to internal reflectance. The captured visible light will then be converted into direct current electricity. Then, the regulating circuits will now process the voltage output, allowing battery charging, storage, or even direct utilization, which is actually enough to power the whole site with its UV harvested energy.
Museums are more than just reminiscence and memories of the past.
They are also places where we share present moments together.
A place where today is unlike ever before.
And a place where the future is a story that we cannot wait to tell.
This is Project Kinaiya.
This is Project Kinaiya.
This is Project Kinaiya.
This is Project Kinaiya.
And I can't wait to meet you there.